Welcome to Northernlights. I'm Dwain. Today I don't have Mark with me, but I do have Finn, who's decided to join me today, and he's known as Viper on YouTube. You'll be able to find more of him down below. So how are you doing, Finn? Are you okay?
I'm good.
Brilliant. Man of many words, just like Mark, so I'll be at home there. So we start off with Kamara Usman versus Leon Edwards for the title on Saturday. Do you think Edwards really has a chance at all, or do you feel as though it's just going to be a pure domination by Usman?
He's definitely got the skills to beat Usman, but it's like with the Diaz fight, it showed that Edwards later on in the fight he is a bit chinny, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. I agree 100% because Edwards does have all the skills. He's a very talented fighter. He's strong, he's fast, but I feel like Usman is stronger and faster and probably more talented, right? So it
Yeah,
almost seems there's very little pathway for Edwards to win. But Usman's come out of what is he just come out of hand surgery, right? So maybe
yes,
he might be a little bit gun shy. Maybe he's not going to want to use that hand as much. I'm not sure. It's people always come off slightly different, don't they, after a surgery?
yeah.
Um, but I feel as though Edwards could shock a lot of us. He could come out and he could get a grinding decision. I don't know if he'd
Yeah.
finish Usman. Do you think he's capable of finishing Usman? And if he is, how do you think he'd finish him?
I think if Edwards is going to finish Usman, it's going to be like he catches him with a knee when he's going for a takedown or something.
Hmm.
Because I don't see him like knocking Usman out with a punch.
No, I agree, definitely not. Usman's got such a strong chin, hasn't he? And that seems so unlikely. But that is a good path to victory, just sort of stopping him mid takedown and getting him with a knee. But he has got great, he's a good wrestler himself, and he has had some submission threats, but inactivity is a real issue for Edwards as well, isn't he? He's had what,
Yeah,
two fights, and one of them got stopped early, didn't it, when they put Bilal Muhammad in the eye.
yeah.
So he's not fought for a long time, and that sort of ring inactivity could really hinder him here. So what do you think? Who do you think is going to win? What round and how?
Um, I see Usman like early on he's just going to be wrestling him.
Mhm.
And then because people are not realizing this fight is at quite high altitude, and I think that's going to cause Edwards to gas out quicker.
Mm.
So I'm going to go with Usman by fourth round TKO.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good choice. I'd say, I think I'm agreeing with you in that way. I think he will get a late fourth or fifth round finish by Usman because you're right. Edwards has shown himself to be quite chinny. And if he's getting rocked by Nate Diaz in that way, and I mean, I don't want to get obsessed with Nate Diaz rocking Edwards just because, I mean, everyone bangs on about that, but it does show that he is very chinny. And if Usman connects with him in those late rounds when he's tired, he is going to go to sleep. So I'm in agreement with you there. I think
Yeah.
Usman knockout round 4 or maybe round 5. So we move on to Paulo Costa versus Luke Rockhold. I mean, I think almost everyone thinks exactly the same, that Luke Rockhold's going to come out and get knocked out very, very quickly by Paulo Costa because Paulo Costa's got immense strength and he's got an
Yeah.
immense record knockout. So how do you feel as though Luke Rockhold does have a chance in this at all, or do you think it's just going to be a pure knockout?
The way I see this fight is like the fight. If like Luke Rockhold actually had a good chin, I'd absolutely pick him to win this fight. I think he's a way more skilled martial artist than Paulo Costa, but it's just that he doesn't have a chin. So I can just see the first big right hand that Costa lands knocking him out.
Yeah, I agree. So it's so difficult, isn't it? Because Luke Rockhold is a very talented fighter. He's champion for God's sake. He really knows what he's doing, but he's just got that glass jaw, hasn't he? But he has got a whole new
Yeah.
training camp now. So maybe you'll, as simple as it seems, maybe he'll learn to keep his hands up rather than just getting caught. Because he gets caught by almost the same punch every single
He
time
throws
now.
like a left hook.
Yeah. So you'd feel like, right. So you feel like Paulo Costa is going to come out with those left hooks over and over and over again. So maybe this new training camp might sort of bring him some more luck because he is quite old now. It would be nice to see him do well.
How old is Luke Rockhold? He's like
I think he's
37 or
37.
7.
Yeah, I think so. He's around that sort of age. So, he's near retiring age now.
Yeah.
I think, do you think if he loses here, that's it? He's done, he fully retires?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to, doesn't he?
I thought he should have retired after the Jan loss.
Yeah, I agree. But I guess when he fought Yan, he did go up a weight division, so there is that sort of
Yeah.
built-in excuse, I guess. So what's your prediction for this fight?
Um, Paulo Costa first round knockout.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, but I think we're going to get a different Rockhold entirely. I think
Mm.
he's got this new training camp, and I think if he can just keep his hands up and keep Costa at range, I think he might get a decision. I think if he
It's
can,
possible.
yeah. That's what I'm going to go for. It seems unlikely, I know, but I think we're going to get a Rockhold by decision, and maybe just because I feel like he's so desperate to get this win, so hopefully he'll be very hesitant. Just keep him at bay. And then we go in with Jose Aldo versus Marab. I'm not going to even attempt his surname. Usually Mark does these names for me, and he's much better. Do you know his name, Finn?
Like Marab Davalishvili or something.
Something like that, yeah. So I think the big problem with this fight is Marab is a very wrestler-focused martial artist, and Jose Aldo's got like 90% takedown defense, and I don't think has he ever been submitted? And I just
I'll need to check for his record, but
yeah,
for
but I
that.
don't think he has. Not that I can recall. I mean, we don't have to go through all of his record. It's all right, but I don't remember him being submitted. So I just don't feel as though Marab's really got much for Aldo in this fight. What do you think? Do you think Marab could maybe have a path to victory if he just sort of just
Um,
holds him down or something like that for 3 rounds?
I don't even see Marab getting Aldo down because they're putting almost a pure wrestler against the best anti-wrestler the UFC has ever seen.
Yeah, it seems so unlikely, doesn't it? So
Mm-hmm.
it feels like it's set in stone, isn't it? Because Aldo's just such a talented fighter, and with that good takedown defense, it seems near
Yeah.
impossible for Marab. So what is your prediction for this fight?
Oh, I'm gonna go Aldo decision.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think exactly the same. I think with 3 rounds, it's not enough to get a knockout by Aldo, and Aldo doesn't really have that sort of knockout power anymore. I don't feel like not for Marab. I think Marab's a big, strong guy, and I don't think he'll get him knocked out. But I think he will get a good dominant decision.
Did you watch the Marab versus Moraes fight?
Yeah, well, he just dragged him around and knocked him out, didn't he? So he has.
I know
Marab
where.
has- Yeah,
Yeah, it was like Wash Moraes nearly knocked him out. He put him down like 3 times. So
yeah.
I think what this version of Jose Aldo is going to be able to do.
Exactly. I agree 100%. It just feels like Aldo is going to dominate this purely.
Yeah.
I do think that's all we've got time for. Thank you everyone for watching. If you can like, comment, subscribe, it really does help us out. And make sure to check Finn down below.